Howdy folks, hope you're doing well and off to a great start to your summer. I'm Fred here with Overland Outfitting and just spent the last couple nights up near the Loveland area in a nice remote little hip camp area not too far from town. On my way up here I did pick up a new roof rack for the FJ Cruiser, and so I thought I would just take a moment to point it out, show you what I ended up deciding to go with, and offer you a safety tip for consideration when you're out camping in the wilderness environment such as we are. So on my way up, I did stop in Denver along the way and picked up a Rhino Rack from Altitude Industries. If you ever have a chance to talk with Lee at Altitude Industries, I highly recommend that you do, because Lee is super helpful and very knowledgeable about the subject matter of roof racks. Now Lee was very helpful and is very knowledgeable on the subject of roof racks and the installation. And Lee did install this rack, had it waiting for me when I arrived. Took about 2.5 hours. It's not quite a straightforward process as one might think. And I am happy to report that after our discussions, rather than going with a crossbar setup paired with the backbones, I ended up going with a platform rack. The platform rack is going to be the most useful and most versatile rack format for the FJ Cruiser over the years. And if you're like me, you need a roof rack for multiple purposes, not just for storing camping gear up on top, or even a iCamper or other rooftop tent that you can dedicate a vehicle to hosting. I did, for now anyway, decide that a rooftop tent was not the route that I wanted to go with this FJ Cruiser, because the FJ Cruisers just don't have that much storage on the inside, and I came to realize that I want more storage capacity up on top of the vehicle in the way of storage boxes and other fitment kits that I can add for things such as recovery gear and other tools and utility items that I don't want to take up interior space with. So if you are in a situation like me where you don't want to have all the weight and wind drag of a rooftop tent on top of your vehicle 100% of the time, and you need your vehicle to be as versatile as possible, this may be a route that you may want to pursue as well. I do plan on putting some aluminum storage boxes up on top here soon, as well as some fuel, water, and again, recovery gear mounting options that Rhino Rack offers right from the factory. So with the roof rack discussion out of the way, I did promise that I'd get to a little bit of a safety tip to take into consideration when you're camping out here in the western US near River Creek. And what I wanted to point out was the fact that when I arrived the other night, I actually had set up my camp over in this portion of the space here, and it was dark and late, and I crashed into bed and got a good night of sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I looked around and I realized that I was positioned underneath a couple of dead and or dying cottonwoods. Now anyone that knows anything about cottonwoods understands that they are a very unstable tree when they are dying, and they are very prone to falling in windy conditions. And indeed, when I arrived back at camp yesterday afternoon, it was quite windy and raining a little bit, and I determined that it is going to be best to get my tent out of the way of these dead cottonwoods. So I did move my tent over to this other side of the camping spot here, and I also positioned my vehicle in between myself and the cottonwoods. Now, if one of these cottonwoods were to have fallen on my FJ last night, it likely would have crushed it and totaled it, but that would have saved me potentially from the hazard of having a cottonwood fall on top of me directly. So, just something to consider as you're out there, no matter what environment you're in. You do always want to consider overhead obstructions, just like whenever you are throwing a ladder on a fire ground or anywhere else that you may be working around wires or other overhead hazards. I hope that some of the potential hazards that could possibly impact you in a situation like this never come to fruition, but maybe this will help prevent catastrophe if something like that should ever occur. Folks, I hope you got some value out of this. I look forward to talking with you again here soon as we add more kit to the FJ Cruiser and build it out into the overland vehicle that is going to serve me best. I hope you'll like and subscribe. I hope we see you again soon. Stay well and have a great day.